Welcome, everybody. Welcome back to the Heartbroken and Housebroken podcast. My name is Spiro. I'm your host. You guys haven't already, it's the standard to open the show. Follow me, subscribe, hit the subscribe button if you haven't already, hit like, comment, let me know what your thoughts are. Share it to somebody who's going through some difficult times to see how, even though you grieve, you can get out there and still have a fun time and get through it. I also do stand-up comedy. For those of you who aren't familiar, follow me on social media at Spiro and That Show. On all social platforms, Instagram, TikTok, X, Facebook, YouTube, obviously. And then this show is also on Spotify. So if you rather listen to my voice than look at my face, then Spotify, the Heartbroken and Housebroken podcast. And you can find episodes there. It has been a whirlwind of the past couple weeks. I know I say that almost every single week where I'm like, I'm going to get back to doing it every single week. And I want to. And I think I'm finally going to start doing it with the consistency. My first official week of school was last week. And it was all like meetings and getting to like know the rules and set up the classroom and get my curriculum ready. And it's been a whirlwind, but it's been so fun because I came from such a world where it was just shitty all the time. Like the casino industry, it had its fun moments, but especially the last couple of years, it just got shitty. So doing something that gets me excited, man, like it's just something good for your soul. You know, it cleanses the soul when you're like, oh, I'm doing things that I like. You know, I'm developing an improv course and a film course and public speaking, and it's all the things I love to do. And I'm like, this is what makes me happy. And it's funny how many things contribute to happiness. You know, when you grieve and when you lose so many things, you're just used to being like, what's going to make me happy? What's the one thing that's going to make me happy? And during the course of my grieving journey, I found out that not one thing makes you happy. It's like a chip. You can't just have one chip. You got to eat that whole fucking bag. That makes you happy. One chip's not going to make you happy. One chip's going to be like, all right, like that was good. I need more. You know, if you came from a world where you're only eating, I don't know, stale bread, a piece of stale bread, you're like, ugh, could go for a nice salty, crisp Ruffles potato chip, a nice Dorito, you know? And then if you have one, you're like, that was so much better than whatever the fuck I was just eating. Let me eat up some more. And that's what happiness is, you find. You know, when you are going through grief, obviously, there's a lot of shitty things that are on your mind. And there's a lot of shitty things that you've been through and you're trying to grow through. And then you kind of lose track of what makes you happy. Like before Sarah and my dad, thinking about things that made me happy, it's like difficult because a lot of it isn't the same anymore. But at the same point, a lot of the things that I did love back then kind of had to unfortunately take a little pause without me even realizing I was taking a pause. Because when you're feeling something so heavy and emotional, it takes all of your attention away. Like lifting weights, you know? If you're lifting some big old weights, get big old strong arms, big old buff biceps, it's going to hurt. And you're going to focus your attention on it. And you're going to keep you're like, I want these arms to be buff. I want these arms to be buff. And when you're grieving, you're just focusing on that. You're like, I just need to process this. I just need to figure out what's happening. Like, where did they go? Is there an afterlife? What am I going to do with the rest of my life? Am I going to be sad forever? All these things you go through. And it's just nuts because doing things that make you happy feel exhausting. Like I used to love playing hockey. And there was a point while I was grieving where I was just like, it's just so much work. Like, or I'd play hockey. I'm like, yeah, this is great for an hour. I don't have to think about it. But then, boom, like, what do I think about after that? You know, same with stand-up. There was a point in stand-up where I loved it so much. And then during the grieving process after Sarah and my dad, I started kind of losing the love for it a little bit. I started really I guess that's what you do when you do something that makes you happy, especially something creative or athletic or anything. Like I used to do film, comedy, improv, all these things. After you grieve or like during grieving, after you lose somebody, it's almost like people go, yeah, why don't you just do this? Why don't you just play hockey again? Why don't you make a movie? Why don't you do stand-up? And it's all great, but then you realize the slingshot back to reality is almost harder than just sitting and processing it. Like you play hockey for an hour, everything's great. And then after I get done with hockey, especially after I lost her and my dad, it's like, oh, I used to talk to my dad about hockey. I used to tell Sarah what happened during the games. And like, you don't have these pieces in your life anymore. So it becomes almost like, I'm not going to play hockey because it hurts too fucking much afterwards. It's like you disassociate from what's going on. You feel great. You get this exercise. You see old friends, you play a game that you love, and then once you're done, you're back to this hard realization that your life is like this now. And it is a long time to get that back. Now I'm playing hockey again, and I love it, and I don't have those same feelings. But, a year after it, during that year, it's like I had to take a little bit of a hiatus. I was also going through some physical stuff, but it was just mentally, when you're grieving, it just essentially fucking just destroys your sense of happiness. Same with stand-up. I was very much like, because Sarah told me she wanted me to continue stand-up. And I was like, you got it. So I did stand-up and I pushed and I was like, this is what she wants and this is what she wants. And then my dad died. And then it was almost like, and my dad died literally while I was packing up to go to a gig that I still haven't been booked at since then. Like I had to cancel the day of. I was literally waking up to pack my car and I got the phone call and flew immediately home and dealt with everything that we had to deal with. And you just don't realize how much that affects you, like there was a good year, maybe a year and a half of stand-up where I'm just like, I don't know if I fucking like this anymore. I don't know if I want to do this anymore. And I try to talk about, Sarah and my dad, and it was very dark. It was very raw. It was very real. Some people remember the very beginning of this, and now it's turned into what I'm extremely proud of and something that just amazes me the more and more I perform it. But like you start to like question all these things. Like, why am I doing it? Am I doing it because me and my dad would go do stand-up comedy? We'd go see stand-up comedy all the time. So I'm like, did I just do stand-up because it was something my dad enjoyed? Am I still doing stand-up because Sarah told me she didn't want me to stop doing what I love? But it's like, is that even what I love? Because two things that I've loved have gone away. So is this something that is even something I love because it can't go away, really? Like, stand-up's one of those things that's always going to be there. And that was one of those realizations I had where I'm like, it's always going to be here. I don't always have to take it so serious. Like, yeah, Sarah wanted me to continue. Yeah, my dad loved stand-up and wanted me to keep pursuing it. But it's like, I shouldn't be doing it for them. I should be doing it for me. But you learn these lessons as you grieve. And that's what's so crazy about it, is you just are so unsure the whole time. Like film, I haven't filmed a movie, since before COVID, like a legit short film. Like I've done a couple 48 hours and they've been fun, but even those a little stressful, a little like your mind's not right. You're like, yeah, I used to love doing this, but you're used to your old life surrounding that happiness. So you kind of have to really fully separate yourself from everything, fully tear yourself away, work on yourself, get better, go to therapy, do yoga, all the good stuff that I love doing, and you eventually discover that these things did make you happy. And it's the next part of the healing process for me, is really diving back into these things that fully made me me before these tragedies happened. And I've had amazing support through all of this, which has been vital. If I was going through it on my own, I don't even know if I'd be here at this point. And I'm not talking like dark, like I don't know if I'd be here, which is a good choice. Like I don't know if I'd be here at this point. I've gone through some dark times. I've had some dark conversations with myself. Played a little sad ski times, But I've had such good support, and now I'm getting back into this thing. I'm on 2 hockey teams. I'm having so much fun doing it. I'm doing stand-up. I'm really enjoying what I'm doing. I'm traveling. I'm now teaching, which I thought was going to be a hard transition because Sarah was a teacher, but it's actually just something that's really put it into perspective, like what I want in life, what I want to do in life. Like I just want to do things that I enjoy. Life is too short to do things you don't enjoy. Working in the casino industry, it was fun when I was young, and then it just got so shitty, and I didn't enjoy it. But what happens, especially when you're going through hard times, you get afraid. You get worried. You get nervous that things are going to be taken away, that you're going to lose things. So you put yourself in these bad situations, and you just allow bad things to happen to you. Eventually, you got to break out of that. Eventually, you got to just do things that you want to do. Because life's too damn short. In 6 months of the dot, my wife and my father passed away. My wife, we were battling, as we know. My dad, unexpected. And so many things just don't matter in the grand scheme of things when you lose people close to you. So if you're working a job that you don't like, legitimately don't like, there's other shit out there with stuff that you like. Just because you're good at a job you don't like doesn't mean you need to stay there. And that was the thing with me in the casino industry. I was fucking good at it. I was really fucking good at it. And I really, at one point, enjoyed the dynamic of like the casino world, the people, the games, the math, the psychology behind it, all that shit. But that's not real happiness. Because at the end of the day, it's not what I wanted to do. I was always wanting to do film or comedy. Way long ago, hockey. But, when you're an athlete, sometimes you have a shelf life and it doesn't always work out. Injuries are a bitch. But if you're somewhere just doing something you don't enjoy, there are things, and it's hard. And that's the part. It's hard. Becoming a teacher was not easy. I had to sign up for this accelerated class, which is awesome, but it's also very like, all right, well, now I'm back in school. I had to pass 5 of my praxi exams. I don't even know what the word is, but you guys know what I'm talking about. I had to study and pass 5 of those before I could start teaching. I had to pay $1 million background check fees and licensing fees, and it's a lot. And I had to do it within like 3 months, which is not a lot of time to do all of it. Plus prep to get work, plus, understand that I'm transitioning to a different workplace and everything that goes through that, like the career change, am I good enough to do this? Like, am I going to be successful? What should I think? What should I do? Like, is this the right decision? Like, will I be happy with this? And then I get there and I'm teaching film and improv and public speaking, all the things I love to do. And I'm like, yes, this is what makes me happy. And I can still pursue all the things I love doing. I could still pursue film. I could still pursue comedy. But now I'm just doing it all the time. And I think that's a trap that we get into with a lot of things. We get in our own heads. We get scared, especially if we've had some rough stuff. If we don't have anybody that we love or can depend on. Sometimes we get stuck in these situations because we've lost our anchors and we're trying to establish new anchors. That was with me. Like, I lost 2 of my anchors, and then I met Liz, and I had to learn that it's okay to love again. And it's okay to have somebody be foundational in your life and to trust somebody and to believe that they want the best for you. Because I had a lot of shitty things happened to me during the last 4 years where trust wasn't always the smartest option. Trusting people or listening to people or believing people is not always the smartest option. But you live and you learn. So what I'm trying to say, guys, is there's a happiness at the end of the tunnel. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. Do I miss Sarah? Do I miss my dad? Every single day. Are there things that both of them bring that I'm going to implement to my class so I can help their legacies live on? Abso-fucking-lutely. But doing it for me is the big step for happiness. Playing hockey because I love playing hockey, not because it's what I was good at back in the day. It's because it's what I was known for back in the day. It's because I had friends that do it and I want to hang out with those friends again. It's not about that. It's about me enjoying doing it. Doing stand-up. God, you guys know. I've talked about this for a year, but almost 2 years of doing this widow material, still growing it. You know, it started as like one joke, the ghosted bit with one punchline. And now I have about 10 minutes of just boom, 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 where I close on it. It ends with applause breaks. It tells my story. It's unique to me. It's something that I could be fully proud of because not only does it show I'm good at this, but it shows all the hardships that I've gone through to build it and to get to this place. Like watching old sets of it to watching now, it's crazy. So happiness is around the corner, guys. It might be a long corner. It might be a hard corner. It might be a corner where you have to jump over some bridges. And you have to burn some bridges and you have to jump over some obstacles. That's what we'll call them. We have to hop over some hopsticles and eat a popsicle. But you guys can do it because I've done it. And is there going to be tough times ahead? Of course, there's always going to be tough times ahead. Life's tough. Life's hard. But appreciate the things that make you happy. Appreciate the things that make you you. Because you don't realize how much they shape your personality and shape who you are. And without them, you become a completely different person and you feel lost. I felt so lost for so long and I didn't know why. And it was because a lot of the things I loved, I just didn't have anymore. 2 of them I can't get back. I have memories, I have good memories, I have bad memories. 2 of them I can't get back, but all this other stuff I'm able to keep. So if you're out there and you're struggling and you're not doing things that you used to do that made you happy because, you know, the person you're grieving or the thing you're grieving is no longer there, so you're not sure if it's worth it anymore. It is 1,000% worth it. It is so worth it. And that is the message for today's podcast is I'm living proof. If I have to be the sacrificial lamb to snap some of you guys into shape, I'll do it. But, you know, my birthday's tomorrow. It's my 5th year celebrating without Sarah. It's my 4th year celebrating without my dad because my dad died shortly after my birthday. It's crazy to see how far I've come along. And it's crazy to see how much work I've done on myself to bring myself not just to the place where I was before they passed, but to an even better place and put myself on a track to get to everywhere I've wanted to go. Most trains that fall off the track don't get pushed back up and into a better place. I'm fortunately one of those people, and I hope all of you guys will be too. So again, thank you so much for listening. I really appreciate your guys' time. As always, if you haven't followed me already, Spiro in that show on all platforms, but mainly Insta, TikTok, YouTube, on Spotify as well. If you haven't subscribed, please do. I do have some shows coming up. Please follow me on Instagram to get all show notifications, but I'm at Kimmel's on the late night show, August 16th. I'm at Kimmel's on Thursday, August 28th. Jokes and Fire, August 27th, which is a Wednesday. And then I am headlining in the Downtown Comedy Lounge, August, 28th and 29th or 29th, 30th, whatever that last Friday and Saturday of the, I think it's the 28th and the 29th, the last Friday and Saturday of August. I'll be headlining. It's always a good time down there. And then Lake Havasu, I'll be headlining. It's September 2nd. It's a Tuesday. So if you guys are in the Havasu area, come out, hang out, have some fun. Liz will be featuring for me and Kool-Aid will be there. It's going to be a fun show. I'm excited for it. But this has been the Heartbroken and Housebroken podcast. My name is Spiro. Thank you so much for listening. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.